Aging is a privilege. I am grateful for the knowledge and wisdom I have and can share. I appreciate that today we are willing to talk about topics affecting all women and not continuing to treat women's health as taboo. With a woman's age comes menopause. It's not a dirty word or an illness. It's a natural part of aging. That's why I'm excited to share the founder's story of Womaness products. They are clean, well-formulated, doctor-tested, and continue to sell out at Source and Self. We include them in our top-selling kits and bundles because of high demand. Now, Plato said, necessity is the mother of invention, and this is true for Sally Mueller, co-founder of Womaness. She found a gaping hole in the market for good, clean products directed at the needs of middle life women and filled it. And I purposely say middle life because life is not over at menopause. I don't even want to pause. I want to continue to thrive, which is exactly what today's guest is doing. Welcome to the Well-Informed Conversation, Sally. I am so glad we can talk today.
Oh, thank you, Abby. I'm so excited to be on.
Can we start at the very beginning? What is your background? What did you study when you went to college?
Oh, well, funny you ask. I went to University of Wisconsin-Madison.
Oh, go Badgers.
And yes, go Badgers. And I studied business with an emphasis, a degree in marketing. So loved business overall, and marketing was my thing.
Amazing.
So that was my degree.
What was your first job after college? Did you I know you have a history of marketing and branding, but was that your first job after college?
Actually, not exactly. So I wanted to work in the ad agency world, but everyone told me if Target Corporation offers you a job ticket, and that's exactly that's exactly what happened. They came to the campus and interviewed and offered me a position, and I joined Target. Boy, many, many years ago. I was right out of college, 22, 2 weeks after I graduated. And oh my gosh, the rest is history. It was, there was marketing involved in the position because I was an entry-level executive. So I was in girls' fashion.
Amazing.
And oh my gosh, I loved it. So it was
really
like tween girl fashion. And it was a dream position because I learned so much about like monitoring the trends, the clothing trends. And I realized how fickle that consumer is.
Yes.
I mean, I mean, back then there was no social media, but it was just like whatever was hot would be hot for like a month or two, and then it would die, and it would die a quick
straight to the sale rack.
Right. So you had to be really thoughtful about how much how much you buy of these products, and kind of forecasting trends, which is what is part of my entire career.
And that's what Womaness is.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
That's how you landed as a founder, because
forecasting the needs of the consumer. And then just to finish the Target story, I ended up, after about 10 years in merchandising, I did go to marketing. And that's when I really, I think, excelled in my career, at least at Target. And I worked on everything from the branding campaign for Target, the designers.
Are always amazing.
Yeah, all the designers, fashion marketing, home marketing. I was involved in a lot of different holidays. And it was a phenomenal experience. And
I can only imagine.
In 2010. So I had about almost a 25-year career at Target. So,
that's funny because I just assumed someone who lands at Target, did you grow up in Minneapolis?
Yeah, I did.
So what a great way to boomerang back home.
Yes. I mean, it was great to be close to family and to work for such a fast growing, thriving company. I mean, when I started, there were 170 stores.
Really?
And now there's
that's
almost
incredible.
2,000. Yeah.
I would think of no world without Target.
I know. So I always say I was there during the best years. And, I left on my own. I was turning 45, and I just thought, you know what? now's the time to take a risk. And
Yes.
I always felt like I was an entrepreneur inside a corporation. So I wanted to truly apply my entrepreneurial skills and passion. So I started my own business.
Was
And
this
that
your
was,
first business? Your
no,
first?
Womaness
No.
is like my third leg of the stool.
I was gonna
Um,
ask. I was gonna
yeah, I
ask.
had about 12 years in between Target and Womaness.
Okay.
And I had my own business.
What did you do?
I was working
Marketing?
with marketing, but it was more brand building. So,
Mhm. Mhm.
companies would come to me and say, I want to reinvent my brand, or I want to create a new brand.
Mhm.
And so I had a lot of experience thinking about the brand positioning and how we were going to win, and, what the brand is not is sometimes as important to clarify
Is what
as
it is.
it is, what it
Yes.
is. And then thinking about product and the marketing and supply chain. And so all like 360 of
Mhm.
brand development.
Which
And
is
so I
more than
did
what you
that.
did at Target, because at
Yeah,
Target, you
exactly.
had
It was
more of
kind
a
of like exactly a full circle.
you were able to cover all the bases instead of it
Mhm.
being departmentalized.
Right, right,
Um,
right.
and then what was
Yeah.
the next business?
So I ended up, Womaness was again my third phase, but before Womaness, I actually worked with Click Brands, which owned Who What Wear. So we
Oh, I love
created
Who
a
What Wear.
whole line of fashion,
Oh,
physical
wow.
products. It was a really thriving media company,
And then
really
they went
known
into
for.
Target too for a
Yeah,
while.
we worked together on that. We launched a whole line of fashion at Target.
Yeah, I
And then we
remember.
helped incubate a clean skincare brand called First.
I use their eye
And
cream,
yeah, eye
and
cream
I
is
bought it at
great.
Target. It's
Yeah,
really nice.
absolutely.
Is
And
it
then
connected to Who What Wear?
it incubated out of the same company.
Okay, okay.
And so after
I
like
didn't know
having
that.
experience creating brands in beauty and fashion, Womaness really came about for, there was obviously just my personal journey through menopause,
Right, right.
and realizing there was nothing out there for modern
Yes.
women like us and
Mhm,
your
mhm.
audience. And then professionally, always looking for what the next opportunity is. What's
Yes,
the
yes,
next trend? What's the next white space? And feeling more confident that I could actually create something in beauty
yes.
and wellness, because I felt like I had a lot of experience, based on my experience at Click, to really dig into product development and supply chain and all aspects of the business.
And
So
you did. I
yeah,
I love that you on your own took a chance on yourself. You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
some people would just, just stay in the security of having
right,
a
right,
job at Target and knowing where their
yeah,
next paycheck was coming from. But good for you for
yeah. Thank
launching
you, thank you.
yourself on your own.
I
I mean,
look
you're
back and I think, was I crazy? I mean,
no, no,
but
you believed
I,
in yourself, which
yeah,
is,
had a steady job, steady income, and the next day I had no income. But
but you
you
had
know,
the know-how and the
yes,
intelligence
yes,
and the
yes,
drive.
yeah. You do.
Um,
You need all that. I think you also need a supportive partner and family. And my husband kept saying, "I don't care what you do. I just want you to have a job."
how wonderful.
And so I didn't feel immense pressure,
Right.
to surpass my income at Target, or, but one thing kind of leads to the next.
Mhm.
And, you can't just expect things overnight to happen. So you just have
Right.
to every day literally get dressed, get yourself ready, and, make the most of that day,
Amazing.
really.
Now, how did you meet Michelle,
So
your co-founder?
Michelle is a friend of mine. We never worked inside the same company, but we had
Oh, okay.
mutual friends.
Mhm.
And she was heading to Minneapolis to pitch Target.
Okay.
And she was working for Real Simple magazine, and she
Oh,
created
yeah, of
all of
course.
those beautiful products that ultimately were
Yes.
sold at Target.
Yeah.
And, our mutual friend said, Michelle, you should talk to Sally. And we said, absolutely, let's meet. And I gave her all the advice that I could think of on how to
Right.
pitch the Target buyers. And we stayed friends and we worked on some projects together over the years. And
Right.
then, yeah, Womaness really came about, because of our combined, I think, life stories and what we were seeing happening with our own bodies, with our
Right.
friends, and just, also kind of that pulse of what's next.
So I hear that you understood the supply chain before you even began, but how did you know what to put into the products themselves? Because I wouldn't know. I would know what I would want it to do in the result.
Right, right.
Yeah, I would know I'd want something that would firm my neck, but
Yeah.
what do you put in that? And then how did you find the people? Were there chemists, or where do you find that?
Great question, Abby. Well, we did a lot of research, with the consumer and just
Okay.
qualitative, like focus groups. And we had these Womaness and Wine events.
Oh, terrific.
Yeah.
Terrific.
So we got a lot of women to tell us what they were looking for.
Right, right.
And then at the same time, we wanted our line to be very edited. We wanted to kind of hit
Mhm.
those pain points and those
Yes.
symptoms where we could make the biggest difference.
Yes.
So we really decided that there are 3 categories we wanted to focus on: skin and
Yes.
body, supplements, and sexual wellness.
Mhm.
And we ended up hiring some people like skin and body. We hired a formulator that had a lot of experience working on brands for aging skin.
Amazing.
And she turned out to be just an amazing partner. She's not a chemist, but she
Okay.
knows how to work with the chemists and the
Okay.
labs. And so we partnered with one lab in particular, and she was really on the forefront of like, what's the latest ingredient? Like she
Yeah.
was able to find us the advanced form of hyaluronic acid called Hyaclear 7 as an example. So she
Incredible.
was our main liaison and kind of strategist and executor on that. And then for supplements, we actually hired a nutritionist,
Yes.
and there was a scientist involved. He helped us really think about what type of ingredients were uh, publishing clinical results.
Mhm.
And he was kind of a sounding board.
Oh,
And so
wow.
between the two, we knew that we wanted to have a supplement for hot flashes and night sweats and brain fog. So that was what, ultimately became menopause. And he would say things like pycnogenol is known. It's a clinical form of French maritime tree bark. It has 20 years of clinical studies,
Mhm.
and he knew all the clinical studies. And
Great.
so
That's what you
ultimately,
need.
he connected us to the owner of that ingredient. So we started working with the ingredient companies directly too.
Oh,
So that
wow.
really helped. So we knew how much we needed to put in to be effective and to be able to
Mhm.
reference those clinical studies. And then sexual wellness, we worked with a gynecologist. So she
Oh,
was very up
perfect.
to speed exactly on what her patients were looking for, what kind of ingredients were very efficacious, and which ones to avoid. And
Right,
so
right.
we really divided our line into those three categories and found experts within each category.
What was your first product?
Well, we actually launched with 13.
Oh, you launched with 13.
We did.
That's
I
ambitious.
know.
Are all
We were
13 still
Yeah, they're
in
all
really?
still alive and well. And, we've sunsetted some products we launched since then. Maybe
Right.
they're good products, but they weren't big sellers. And,
Sure.
we learned a lot about how many children can you feed. And
Right.
we call them
Right.
our children. It's like it is hard to have that many SKUs. I will say 13 was probably overly ambitious, but we also wanted to be a legitimate women's wellness brand,
Yes.
especially in perimenopause and menopause. And we didn't feel with 2 products or 3 products, as an example, we really make a difference. Like we
Or
felt
make
like
a
we had to
splash.
have, make a splash. We felt like we had to have an assortment.
Mhm.
And so, we from the beginning, we knew which ones would be hero products. Those
Now,
are hero products today.
what's your favorite? I have a favorite. Um, my favorite is Let's Neck, probably because of
Okay.
the old-fashioned name.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
I
fun.
love that.
I happen to
I
have one here. Yeah.
I
This.
I asked my daughter, I said, do you know what it means when you would say that they were necking?
Yeah.
She looked at me
Oh,
like I
really?
was blue. And
That's
she
so
had no idea.
funny. Yeah.
Um, but I think I'm a little bit Nora Ephron because I
Yeah.
hate my neck. Um, so I'm just so grateful for anything
Abby,
that
you're not
helps.
alone.
I know.
Everyone seems to hate their neck, even
And
men.
well, thank God we do, because otherwise you wouldn't have the product
Yeah.
that's as
Yeah.
successful as it is.
Yeah. I mean,
So even
it's
men. Oh, I never
even
think about
men.
men.
Yep, even men. But I do love Let's Snack, but
Yes.
I think I still love Fountain of Glow. It's the
Yes.
vitamin C serum with squalene,
Hmm.
and it's really
For dark
hydrating.
spots.
It does help with dark spots, but it's really, for me, living in Minneapolis,
Hmm.
especially in the winter,
It's so
I put it
dry.
on at night and it just glows my skin, and then it eventually dries a little bit. So,
Yep.
it's, by the time I go to bed, my skin is just nice and soft. It's
Well,
hydrated, but it's not greasy.
yes,
So,
it's the greasy that I'm always
yeah. Yeah.
uncomfortable with a greasy product. Um, so have you been working on anything new, or are you just going to hold it where you are?
We're working on new things all the time.
Is
Yes.
there anything
And,
you want to share?
we're learning a lot because we just recently launched at Walmart, which is our big
Amazing.
news. Yeah. So
That's incredible.
thank you. Our mission is really always been to be there for all women.
Hmm.
And no matter their socioeconomic backgrounds, and all women go through this. Menopause
Hmm.
does not
Yes.
discriminate.
No.
So we love that we're at Ulta Beauty and
Hmm.
we're at Walmart. And we're on
Incredible.
Amazon and womaness.com and some other partners too. And Walmart is obviously just, when you say you're at Walmart, your eyes always get really
You're
big.
everywhere.
Yeah.
You're everywhere.
And we're learning a lot about that customer there. And
Really? Oh,
we're
it's
in the
different.
feminine hygiene. Yeah, we're in the feminine hygiene aisle.
Okay.
And the buyer is really creating this section that is all encompassing. Like, she
Okay.
wants it to be a total solution
Right.
for, as you called it, middle-aged women going through perimenopause and menopause.
Right.
And
I guess we don't have an aisle yet, although
we
we
don't
should,
have an
right?
aisle, but she's close to, I mean, I would say she's the first retailer to really take a stand and put an aisle together. So we're the eye level key brand in that section.
Oh,
And
congratulations.
thank you. And she's selling our 3 supplements and our 2 vaginal moisturizers and our body cream.
I think
So
it's probably better that they're all together, because
yes,
so
it
I don't
is.
have to go to the vitamin aisle. I don't have to go. Yes,
Yes. We
incredible.
did a lot of research asking women how they want to shop
Hmm.
for these products. And most of the women came back and said, I don't want to go up and down every aisle. I
Yes,
don't
yes.
even know what I need. So by
That's so
seeing all the
wonderful.
product together, it's efficient, and I start to understand what I need. So that's the story behind Walmart. But we're learning a lot about what our customer loves about our brand,
Yes,
from a product standpoint. And of course,
yes,
Let's Neck is one of our top selling item, but she loves our sexual wellness products.
yes, which probably don't get enough outward communication.
Yes. Yes.
But the sales probably show that
Yes.
they are well liked.
And Abby, you're totally right. We've not been able to advertise our sexual wellness products on Facebook and Instagram.
How, oh, really? Isn't that interesting?
Very risky because there's still a lot of, requirements. And
Yes.
we don't want to use like code language,
No, no,
when we're
no.
talking about a vagina. We want to say the
Yes,
word vagina.
because
And
that's what it is.
if you run ads talking about a vagina, you can risk getting your account shut down. And
Oh.
that would devastate our business. So
And there's
we
horrible
have,
things that are said every day about so many
I,
different things,
I
but you
know.
can't say the
So
word
it's
vagina.
really, yeah, it's really
Okay.
a disadvantage for women. There's
Yes.
been a lot of women in the menopause industry fighting this.
Mhm.
And we've been, obviously part of that as well. And,
Mhm.
but there's only so much energy that we have, yeah,
Yes.
to fight the big tech companies and
Right, right,
everyone. So with that being said, you're right. We're learning a lot. Like, here's the demand for our products, but we
right.
can't advertise them.
So
And
what
so
I
we're learning a lot about where we can advertise and what's selling. And it's been really interesting.
but Facebook is part of your community. I love that
Yeah.
your website has a Facebook group, which really
Yes.
does talk to women of middle age.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
because I actually just started on Facebook, but I know people are my contemporaries have been using Facebook for years.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I really just kind of, dipped my toe into Facebook. I always kind of shunned it. But that's where women our age are. They're on
Yeah.
Facebook. And
Yeah.
I love that you have a built-in community along with your
Right.
brand.
Right. Yeah. Thank
I think
you.
it's so important because when I find I trust a brand and I'm loyal, I do feel part of that community and I
Right.
am
Right.
loyal. And we all want to belong to something, and especially things that, affect us personally.
Yeah.
When and how did you decide to create the experts blog? And what was the inspiration for that? That is so important because not everybody can go to an expert or even know where to find an expert.
Yeah. So, well, a couple things I do want to mention. The Facebook community you're talking about is called the After Party.
Great name.
And there's almost 10,000 members.
Right.
And Anne on my team, who's 55, this gorgeous inside from inside and out
Yeah.
woman that Michelle and her have been friends for 20 years. She joined our
Lovely.
team from the very beginning, and she is so passionate about helping women. So
Yes.
she kind of facilitates the group, but it's
Right.
really about the group talking to each other.
Mhm.
And we do have experts that work with us. For
Mhm.
example, we've had Dr. Kapoor from the Mayo Clinic on. She is a superstar in the, endocrinologist, really understands menopause. She's been on the After Party, and there's anyone that joins can go back and see the original, like some of these original interviews that are
Right.
still, they're timeless.
Yes.
We work with
This is so generous.
two incredible gynecologists. Um, Dr. Anita Sadati, who works closely with us. She's a functional gynecologist, so she really understands supplements and
Right.
not just hormone therapy, but what supplements should you take. So she's just been a phenomenal partner. Um, Dr. Gila, we call her.
Mhm.
She's a new doctor that I met this spring, and she's lovely. And she started her own telehealth practice in Miami, and she is just got an amazing perspective on women and women's health. And so she's part of our team. We're just, very selectively adding experts because we just think
Right.
it's so important that women are educated about this.
And you're sharing
And
knowledge.
yes,
You're
yes,
encouraging people
yes,
to take a stand
absolutely.
for themselves.
Yeah. And I think there's what I've learned from this industry, because I've gone to so many women's health conferences, and obviously I'm talking to so many of the doctors. There's definitely a camp of doctors that are more traditional,
Mhm.
you
How
know.
so? Like
Well,
just grin and bear it?
no, 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 not that bad. No, they're totally experts in hormone therapy
Mhm.
and all benefits of that. And obviously they know a little bit about the product landscape, but I would say
Mhm.
their product knowledge is not as deep on the functional side of things. So you get good, solid, research backed, advice.
Right.
And then there's a set of doctors that are a little bit more on the cutting edge.
Yes.
They're experimenting with women using testosterone as an example,
Mhm.
or
I've heard
for
of this.
libido. Yeah.
Right.
And so both I think have valid points.
Mhm.
And you have to be informed yourself. You
Yes.
can't you're not going to get everything from one and one person
I agree.
or one blog, but we really try in our blog to talk about these different topics. And
Yes.
we don't sell hormone therapy.
Mhm.
Obviously, it needs
That's
to be
for the doctor.
prescribed by a doctor,
Yeah.
but we have a lot of articles about the benefits of hormone therapy, and you can use our products in addition to hormone therapy. So,
Yes.
we want to
They go
do
hand in
what's
hand.
right for our woman and ultimately the patient or the
Yes. Yes.
customer, whatever you want to, or our community, no matter if we sell the product or not, because I think women are so frustrated. They don't know where to go. They don't know who to trust. And
Yes.
sometimes when you just have like a one-sided perspective, you're not knitting the whole thing together for the customer.
It's interesting because I think of in my own home, I have 3 girls, and what I found as they've been growing, their bodies are constantly changing, and their feet are growing and their teeth are falling out, and we're constantly celebrating those changes. We have the
Yeah.
tooth fairy. We,
Yeah.
mark their growth charts at different milestones. Then around college, we stop changing so much. We do
Yeah.
change physically, but then it's not until your 40s that it's a real change. And we need to talk about it and we need to celebrate it.
Right.
I,
Right.
I'm excited. Your products are beautiful. You don't sell them in a brown paper bag. They
Right.
have beautiful colors and,
Yeah.
beautiful fonts. And, I like to look at them. I don't understand why we're so scared to talk about it.
I know.
You
Well,
know,
that's the whole goal of Womaness, was to be loud, proud, respectful of women. Women deserve elegant packaging,
we do.
and you don't have to pay that much
Hmm.
for just nice packaging.
Hmm.
You just have to. For us, we hired a great graphic designer that really took our vision and created it. We knew what we wanted, but a bad font or a bad carton or a bad component costs the same amount as almost as a
Right.
nice. It's
A careful, thoughtful package
yeah.
is just
So
as
we just
wonderful.
really wanted women to be able to put this on their vanity or nightstand and say, you know what, I'm not embarrassed.
It's not embarrassing.
Yeah, it's
It
really
means
pretty.
I'm
And
better, I'm smarter, look
right,
at what I'm doing to take
exactly.
care of myself.
Yep,
And
exactly.
you may take care of yourself a little differently and your products have changed, over time. I, changed my regimen, but I'm not, 15 anymore.
Right.
So that's okay
Yeah.
too.
Yes.
And it works for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
We always say women deserve better.
we
And
do deserve better.
right, right. And that was the big opportunity, was to really, create a brand,
Mhm.
products that worked, wrap it in education and community, all catered to this woman.
How wonderful. I want to get your word out. You're obviously doing it on your own. I mean, Walmart's a pretty big platform, and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
applaud you and applaud you and applaud you. And I thank you
Oh,
so
thank
much
you.
for every single thing you're doing. I adore your products. I love talking to you. You have a wonderful story. I mean,
Oh,
you have a wonderful
thank
story.
you.
How good for you that you would take a chance on yourself and pivot
Yeah.
and be able to. And here you are. Did you imagine that you would end up with like a whole line of beauty products? I mean, would you call it
Yeah,
beauty
not
products?
really. I never imagined. My mom was in the beauty industry
Was she?
when I was, boy, in kind of 5th grade, 6th grade, and then she was in it for 40 years. So
What did she do?
she decided, she was a school teacher, and she gave up teaching, and she opened Merle Norman Cosmetic Studios in the Twin
Oh,
Cities.
yeah, I know Merle Norman.
And she had 4 at one point.
Oh
And
my
my
gosh.
parents were really entrepreneurial, and I would work for her,
Yes.
usually on the weekends or in the summer. And so I learned a lot about like talking to women, making women feel better, giving
Oh
them
my gosh.
makeovers. So I think it kind of also got in my blood. Like,
Yes.
I really love to help
That's your
women.
family.
Yes, and
Wow.
I think every woman on our team is really motivated by that. You almost
Hmm.
have to be,
Yeah.
Because this is not easy. This is not an easy industry.
No.
It's a hard, I always say we're not creating a lip gloss brand.
Right.
you know,
But even that is so difficult today. There are so
I
many
know, I know.
brands.
I shouldn't make light of a lip gloss brand, but it's, this is actually products that women are inserting into their bodies or
Hmm.
ingesting in and you have to really build trust, and the
Hmm.
marketing and the messaging just has to be really right on point.
Right.
So it's
So
very
is
nuanced, I
was
should
your
say.
mother Merle Norman?
No, no. Merle Norman was a California based company,
Okay.
and it started in the 30s.
Oh,
And she started her business in the 70s, but
okay.
she was, very
They
passionate
were in
about.
Chicago, I think, because
Yeah, they're
it's
all
so
over
familiar.
they were all over the US, but
Yeah.
and they're still around.
Oh, I didn't know that.
She's 87. So
Good for her.
she closed officially the last part of her business down, which was wigs. And
Oh,
she
how
just was
wonderful.
like, I'm done. I'm
Yeah.
done now. And, but she was in the beauty business for 45 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, wigs are having a moment. People who
I
need them,
know. Yeah.
inserts and what is it, the pieces
Ex-
and
well, the extensions are kind of like the new wig.
yes,
But
yes.
she worked with a lot of cancer patients
Hmm.
and, alopecia and, women that had other issues. So
I
it was
had
very,
alopecia,
yeah, it's very,
and
she had to be very empathetic. And she would come
yes,
home, Sally, you'll never believe the woman that came into my store today. It's so sad, and
I was her. I understand.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I was so grateful for the women who would look after me.
yeah,
And they were
yeah,
wonderful and thoughtful and caring.
right, right.
And yeah, I did the whole thing. Um,
Yeah. Wow.
and yeah, but the drugs have changed. So that was
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
like 4 years ago. And
Okay.
today,
Well,
this is
that's
me. This
That's
is
great.
mine.
Yeah, you have great hair.
Now.
See? Yeah, but it
um,
happens. It
It
happens,
happens. It's
and
just
it's
life.
right, right.
It's not always easy, but
Mhm.
we make it through. And
Right.
menopause, it's a little bit of a roller coaster.
Yeah, it
But
is.
thanks to people like you, we will make it through.
Right,
Um,
right.
and we will come out even better on the other side. I really
Yes.
think so. I
Yeah,
really
I agree. I think we hear that from a lot of women.
I really feel as I get older, I'm more authentically myself and
Mhm.
not just the person I am on the outside and the inside. I am who I am in my home that I am when I go
Right.
on the outside. And I
Yeah.
like it. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe not everyone does, but I do.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I think a lot of women hit this point in their lives where they leave their job. Maybe they're not happy at that job and they've kind of worked for maybe a tough boss and they're just like, I'm not doing this anymore,
Mhm.
and I'm going to do something that I want to do. And they, many times end up making more money that, by following their passion.
Yes. Yes.
So it's just everyone needs the support system around them so that they have the
I agree.
courage to do it.
Yes, I agree. I agree. Oh, you're wonderful, Sally. I am going to pivot our conversation
Okay.
to the source and self speed round. Now, don't overthink it, just have fun and
Okay.
just tell me the first thing that comes off the top of your head. What advice would you give to your younger self?
Um, be patient. It's a journey and it's not a race, it's a marathon.
Agreed. What is your favorite summer meal?
I'm really into zucchini,
Oh,
zucchini
good.
fritters, zucchini, anything with zucchini. I know
Love
it
that.
doesn't have a lot of flavor, but we have a huge garden, so I'm making zucchini every which way.
Oh, good lucky you. Um, who, alive or gone, would you like to share this meal?
I love Julie Andrews.
Oh,
My favorite movie is The Sound of Music.
of course.
So that would be really fun. And boy, there's so many people, but I'd love to meet her.
How wonderful. What are you reading?
Oh, that's a really good question. Cookbooks, actually. I'm reading cookbooks.
What's your favorite one right now?
um, I would say we are, I mean, I'm trying to think, Thomas Keller,
Oh, yeah, I do.
the big Thomas Keller book. We
How
have that
wonderful.
out right now. My daughter and I love to cook. So we're pouring through some of these cookbooks. So I'm
How
not
fun.
reading a novel or a book per se, but I do love to read cookbooks.
How wonderful. What is your favorite workout?
Tennis,
Me
and
too.
I've gotten into pickleball.
It's fun, right?
Oh my gosh, I'm getting the hang of it. But I
It's
love tennis first,
me
but
too.
I'm kind of into pickleball.
Okay, I like to hear it. If you had one do-over, what would it be?
Oh, one do-over. Parts of my house.
Okay.
We bought a house that was built in the like 1915.
How
And
wonderful.
I remember we tore all but two walls down, but
Oh,
we
wow.
kept this ugly basement. And my husband was like, well, we can write off the house in a different way from a tax perspective.
Okay.
That basement, I hate that basement.
You still ate
I
it.
mean, it's clean, but I hate it. So I
Just
would
close the
redo my
door.
house. Yeah.
How do you lift your mood?
Cooking, knitting. I know this sounds very like old ladyish, but I've been into needlepoint.
Me too. I love it.
Okay. I am actually look at this pillow
Can
that
I
Michelle
see?
gave.
Oh my
No, I didn't
God.
make this,
That's
but
hilarious.
Michelle, isn't that funny? Michelle
Yes.
knew that I loved needlepoint. It just happens to be sitting here. So I'm really into things that are tactile.
Hmm.
After a stressful day and I just am done with the computer.
Yes.
I can't respond to one more
One more email.
email.
Yes.
So I've been, obviously exercising, but then I'll do some needlepoint and I'm almost done with this project that I've worked on for 25 years.
Yay.
It's a huge needlepoint. It's really
Oh,
pretty.
wow. Will it be a rug? Will it be a
No, I'm going to make a bench. My husband's going to try to make
really?
a really cool modern, like a vanity
Yeah.
bench,
Cool.
like in a vanity.
Yes. Yes.
And then I want it to be the top. And then he's going to do like plexi. So it's clear
Amazing. Yes. Yes.
base.
I can't
He's got
believe
some
how the
people
finishers do.
yeah, he's got some people he knows. He's in the business of woodworking and things. So he's
How
going to
creative.
try to find someone to make the base.
Oh, how
And
fun. Oh, I love it.
so I just love finishing. Maybe it's the desire to finish something too.
Yes.
Because with Womaness, you're never really finished.
Right. Right.
You
But I
know,
think
you might
that's
have
everything.
yeah. And it's just a run on sentence.
A work in
So
progress.
you need those, right. You need those projects that are like, I just have to feel like I'm finishing something,
Yes. Oh, I can't
finish
wait
the
to.
sweater. Or, yeah.
Yes.
I'll send you the finished result when I
I'd
get
love
it
to
done.
see that. I've only ever gone as far as pillows or coasters, but
Yeah.
I'm waiting on
Yeah.
a pillow that I cannot wait to see because I
Oh,
worked on it for
good.
so long.
Yeah. I want to see that. I
And
know. I think, I encourage people to have hobbies because I think you retire, a lot of corporate people retire and they're like, what do I do with
now
my
what?
time? I don't know what to do. So, I think it's good to have hobbies.
Well, with the needlepoint, I feel like the meditative stitch,
Yeah.
yeah, it's actually very relaxing. It's
I know.
almost
I know.
like
It's so
Zen,
fun.
and I can listen
Yeah.
to something and I can just,
Yeah. It's
and it's
brainless.
creative. You choose your
Yeah.
colors.
Right.
It's a reflection of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have a motto or words you live by?
Oh, I'm trying to think what I live by. I should have something profound off the cuff of my.
Well, you can always
Um,
go to that pillow that Michelle gave you.
yeah, happiness is positive cash flow. I guess my motto right now is I always tell younger people to really build their network. It's not
Yes.
really a motto, it's more advice, but it's
Mhm.
like think about investing in your network around you and,
Mhm.
go out of your way to bring people into your network, give back to your network. And those people serve you so long in your life. They can be, eventually there's always a friendship that
Mhm.
emerges from it, but also just you help each other, from a career standpoint. So
I feel like that's a very feminine way of thinking about business,
yeah.
where you're
Yes,
not
it
just
is.
out for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I like this so much, and it's wonderful advice, no matter what sex you're giving it to.
Right. Right.
What is the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning?
I'm terrible. Well, I brush my teeth, but I'm really into cappuccinos.
Oh, that's a treat.
Well, we were just in Italy and
Oh,
their coffee
that's
is
cappuccinos.
so good. So I had an obsession for cappuccino before I went to Italy, and
Mhm.
now I'm even more into cappuccinos.
Oh, that's such a
So
good
yeah,
treat.
I always have that. And I just literally sit in my pajamas for a while, drink my coffee, kind of get my bearings straight, and
Mhm.
then I get ready for the day. I haven't figured out how to be good about exercising first thing,
Mhm.
but what I have been doing is after work, I've been doing either tennis or biking or something. So
Great.
I am trying to exercise every day, do something,
Yes. Just something. Just do something.
something. Yeah.
And you're up there with 10,000 lakes, so
Yeah.
it's lovely to walk around one of
And
them.
a lot of snow in the winter. So
Yes, yes.
it's hard for me in the
Snowshoeing?
winter, yes, to get out and do that because it's
Yeah,
so
it
cold,
is.
but
It is.
I have to keep going on this once a day commitment.
Sometimes I think when you're committed to just once a day, maybe tomorrow will only be 10 minutes of something of
Right.
stretching, but but maybe today I was out there for 90 minutes,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
just do
Yeah.
what you can and just keep on moving.
Right. Right.
And my last
Absolutely.
question is, what's your superpower?
Um, what is my superpower? My team probably needs to answer that. I think I think connecting people and having a lot of different, types of people in my universe,
Wow, that's wonderful.
I don't know.
That you're not just reflecting back you to you, you're
Yeah.
looking
Yeah.
outward. And
Yeah. Yeah.
that's probably what makes you so successful.
Yeah. I mean, when we moved to where we are in Minnesota, my husband's like, we're going to go to this church. And
Yes.
I started getting involved in I became like a head of the fundraiser. And
Wow.
we always laugh about it because I've been doing this for 8 years. And it's like
Yeah.
throwing a huge gala and like decorating an
That's a huge
entire,
job.
yeah,
Yes.
like transforming into, but I have met so many incredible people from that.
Yes.
If I hadn't done that, I wouldn't have those friendships. So you
Oh,
kind of
wow.
have to, invest in these different pockets of life.
Yes.
And it doesn't mean they all are for your career per se
No.
or in your industry. It's like, I have that segment of friends,
Mhm.
and then I've got tennis friends and I've
Yeah.
got my knitting friends and
Right, right, right.
college friends, all the different types of people that make it interesting. So,
But you gain so much knowledge from each of them,
yeah,
and
right.
they're a reflection of you and you're a reflection of them, and you can discuss different things with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's nice to be, spread out.
Right. Right.
So I don't think it makes you
Absolutely.
spread thin. I think
Right.
it makes you, I don't know, the opposite of thin, I guess, is thick, but it means you're just
Yeah.
more, it
Spread
makes you
deep. Yeah.
a deep. Yes. It doesn't make you shallow. It makes you
Yeah.
deeper. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. That's great.
Sally. Oh, thank you so, so much. I really have
Thanks, Sammy.
enjoyed
Oh,
talking with
so
you.
fun.
I
So
love your
inspiring.
I love your story. I really do. And I love your products.
Good.
And they
Good.
continue to sell out at Source and Self, which is a reflection of the product because, you can try something once, but
Yeah.
when you try it again and again, then
Right. Right.
you are
Yeah.
really onto
Yeah. That's
something pretty
great. We're
cool.
very proud of our products. So
You should be. You should be. And
thank
they are a
you.
reflection of you.
Thank you so much. I
So
loved our time together.